ANC's overall brand?
So for the last 2 years, ANC has branded itself as the go-to channel for anything and everything about the Philippines to non-Filipinos living overseas. So we've established ourselves in this country, but now we are targeting an international audience. And this fits very well with that strategy, with our strategy, because as you know, we are educating our countrymen about our culture, and now this is a chance to actually inform the rest of the world about it.
All right, and to Deputy Speaker, of course, Dayaw has ushered in a renewed interest in Filipinos for our cultural heritage. What other hopes do you have for this program? I'm sure it's a long list.
Well, this program should be immortalized and should really go beyond our generation because it documents our living traditions, it documents our national living treasures, it documents our intangible and tangible heritage. It documents our cuisine. It documents our languages. It documents our artisans. It documents our rituals. It documents even our mountains, our rivers, and our lakes. It documents our scripts and our writing. It documents our architecture. It documents the lives of our Indigenous people. It documents the struggles, the pains, the beauty, the nature, the vastness, the wealth, the richness of our culture. So this is a never-ending documentation of what the Philippines is all about. It's really a gift to the Filipino people. And so I am certain that this will go beyond this generation and ours and the coming generations. And we are privileged to have a media entity as a partner, which I hope documents it and keeps all the raw materials on archive. We're fortunate that there is a viewership, the fact that it's still airing and that there's continued support from government. So when former Chair Felipe De Leon, Chair June and I talked about it, because the word Dayaw emanates from a Dayaw program of NCCA, right? You have a Dayaw festival every year. But it's a festival that happens once a year. And I said, why not use that as a peg, but to document everything about the Philippines? And he was so excited, but how do you do it? I said, no, I'm a child of television and I've been doing this for so long, but this time, let's look at Philippine culture and traditions. And so that's how it was born. So that's my long answer to your brief question.
That's all right, ma'am. Thank you very much. Let's now go to Media Relations Manager Aaron Domingo, who is standing by with a few questions from the press. Aaron, go ahead.
Thank you, Lexi. Our first question will come from the Dean of Entertainment Journalists, Madam Manay Ethel Ramos. Go, Manay.
Ang first question ko kay Miss Dayaw. Gusto kong malaman, how do you think do the millennials react to the program?
Thank you, Tita Ethel. Ako bang tinatanong niyo o si Miss Dayaw?
I don't know.
Ay, sorry. Alam mo na kapag si Tita Ethel excited. Sa mga hindi nakakaalam, kami po ni Tita Ethel, pep talk pa lang, nandyan na siya. Walang may alam na ng pep talk sa inyo. 1986. Sino ang nanood na ng pep talk noong 1986 maliban kay Crispina Belen at kay Ethel Ramos? Sino sa mga bloggers, reporters, nagko-cover, o maski mga nandito? Wala. Hindi ko kaedad si Tita Chris. Hindi ko rin kaedad si Tita Ethel. Pero kino-cover na nila ako noon. So, I'm disappointed nobody knows pep talk.
1 year old.
Oh! So, why don't you put it online? I allow you. I mean, I was the producer and the host. Put it there. Because pep talk is as rich as Dayaw. And we cross rivers to get stories. See? So, I haven't answered the question. Tama Tita Ethel. Okay. So, nung panahon yon, puro kami hard copy. Yung mga press release ko, ako nagtatype at nandyan sa brown envelope. Tapos nandyan si Ricky Lo, si Ethel Ramos, Crispina Belen, Aisa Red, si sa Bulletin, Star, Malaya, si Mario Bautista, Mario Hernando, diba? Memoryado ko. Ako nagtatype. Ako nagkakabit ng mga pangalan. Oh, ganyan tayo, diba? Anyway, so what was the question? Sorry.
Yung mga millennials na.
Yung mga millennials. Tanong natin yung mga millennials. You know, okay. Millennials are interested in everything that's happening. And this is something new to them because obviously all of us were not born when the indigenous peoples had their culture. So I guess, and the fact that we receive a lot of favorable feedback online means we're being watched by people from all walks of life and all generations. And I think if you upload the shows of the 80s, well, I'm only responsible for my shows, Pep Talk and Inside Story. I am certain the millennials will enjoy it because when I lectured in the ABS-CBN, is it University, natutuwa ako. The reporters, not so young, 30s, 40s, they were young, there were new ones, there were those. And they were asking me about my interview, let's say, with Nelson Mandela. So they would search it online. My hair was so short, that was in the 90s. That's not Dayaw, it's not Pep Talk, it was Inside Story. And then I had to relate to them how I got the exclusive interview with the President of South Africa when he came to the Philippines. So I am certain, I cannot speak for the millennials. I would like to hear from a millennial who's covering or who's present here. You said you were 1 year old.
Yes.
Are you with the media?
Blogger.
Blogger, ayan. What is your name, please?
Kate. Kate.
Have you seen Dayaw? Have you watched it?
Just snippets of it.
Snippets, okay. If you don't like it, you can say so. With me, I'll accept anything. I just want to know, answer the question of Tita Ethel. What do you think of Dayaw? And if you don't think about it in any way, that's fine. I just really want to know because I cannot answer for the millennials.
I think
Right.
the appeal would be for the students because they will be able to relate whatever they learn in school and what they will see. I mean,
Are
they
you
will-
considered a millennial? You're still a
I
millennial?
am.
Okay, good. Okay. So it's for the students and for millennials alike,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly that market. I think the
Sure.
students.
And when you say students, it's millions of them. Yes,
Yeah.
that's great. So what else? Pang estudyante lang ba? Hindi ka na estudyante, ibig sabihin ayaw mo?
No, even among my age bracket, the 20s and 30s, because a lot of people are into traveling now. I mean,
exactly.
and your show entails a lot of travel, so I
Yes.
think that's also very appealing for those who are interested in seeing what's out there, but they cannot travel. So they get to
Great.
travel through you.
That's true. It's really domestic travel. Oh, look at Tony. You know, dapat interviewin itong batang to eh. Si Tony Aguilar. Ilan ng ilog at karagatan ang tinawid at ilang bundok ang inaakyat. Sino ang ating magagaling mga cameraman? Amazing. They're the heroes behind the show. I could not do it anymore now. I used to do it when I was in Pep Talk Inside Story, but when I retired from ABS in 98, I stopped doing it. But they're able to do it now. Would you believe I still preview Dayaw? I still correct the scripts with Estelle. Hindi na ako producer eh. Noon in my Senate office, we would preview it. And I'd have corrections, Sarelli. So I can't shake it off. So, thank you very much for that. So it's for students. Tita Ethel, my answer to your question, I have to consult a millennial because I don't want to be presumptuous. It's educational. And education spans, it's not just for students, it's for everybody. And second, because people love to travel, they love to trek, they love to go to rural areas, they like going to the not so familiar places, and it gives you free travel where it's difficult, expensive, or unreachable. Yeah. So Dayaw is for everybody. And for those who can't cross rivers or climb mountains or meet the Iraynon Bukidnon or the Mangyans or the Magtisalog or the Ivatans or the, I can go on and on, then here you come up close and personal with the 15 million Filipinos who are indigenous peoples.
May tatanong uli ako sa inyo. Considering how much you value environment, and Culture. How come you are not DENR Secretary?
Thank you for that. Well, I've been an elected official since 1998, Tita Ethel. And I like the work. Perhaps if I did not become a senator for 18 years, would we have the 8 environmental laws that I authored? Maybe someone else would have authored it, maybe not the way I wrote it. So I'm glad I was able to enact legislation, from the Ecological Solid Waste Management Law to the Climate Change Act to the People's Survival Fund, Clean Water Act, Clean Air Act, Renewable Energy Law, the Educational Environment Education Act. So why am I not the DNR Secretary? At some point, it was pitched to me. I can't recall which president, etc. Just like other cabinet posts were pitched. But perhaps I was meant to be in the legislature, 18 years in the Senate, and now in the House of Reps. Perhaps because I also don't want to limit myself to only environment, not only, I mean, to just one sphere. I value environment, it's my life. But I also do much work in foreign relations, for example. I do much work in finance as well. I do work in agriculture. I do work in education. I'm in the military as well. So perhaps because my interest is so broad, being a policymaker perhaps would suit me best. But you never close doors. I would be frustrated if I was DNR Secretary because I can't correct all the mistakes of the past and can't solve all the problems within 3 to 6 years. Gina, I miss her now after what you've asked because I was very strongly supportive and more than supportive. Minaniubra ko sana yung kanyang pagka-confirm sa CA. I mean, maniubra is not the word, but how we tried to get it done. Yeah. So I miss Gina when you mentioned that. Yeah. I just want to have friends and allies who are eco-warriors as DNR Secretary, but not for me. Because I'm the lawmaker and I want to see the oversight of laws that I have authored with a partner DNR Secretary. And Gina was really the perfect partner. As passionate, with the same way of thinking. Yeah, now I miss her so much.